Hey there, my friends. This is a pick a card. I am Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot and Tarot at 12. And today we're going to do a pick a card. And the question is, what will my future spouse be like? Bum, bum, bum. Let us find out what is going on with that. I'm going to do this a little differently than I've done some of my other pick a cards. We're going to do a live shuffle and spread out. Today we are not going to use crystals, and I'm just going to get the piles going. So while I'm doing this, focus on the question and see where your attention is drawn. When I'm finished spreading out the piles, when I'm finished spreading out the piles, I want you to make sure and get your mind calm and think of your question. It's important to do some of that energy focus. So pause the video if you need to. We're going to shuffle each deck. We want to know what our future spouses are going to be like. We need to know. We're going to do 4 piles. We're going to use the Steampunk Tarot, which is this one. And then we are also going to use Arcanum Tarot. Let's see, what will our future spouse be like? What is our future spouse going to be like? Okay, let's find out what we've got. So let's lay out 4 cards. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, now I'm going to do Deviant Moon. This is Deviant Moon, another one of my faves. What is my future spouse going to be like? What will my future spouse be like? We need to know. Okay, we're going to lay one out. We're going to say pile 1. We're going to do pile 2. We're going to do pile 3. Ooh, we dropped 1 for pile 4. How you like that? That one wanted to come out, didn't it? Okay, now we're going to use, sorry about that. Now we're going to use Light Seers for our final card. What will our future spouses be like? What will my future spouse be like? We need to know. Okay, got a little bit of a mess going on here, don't I? Let's spread you guys back out. There we go. Now we're back to business. All right, so Light Seers, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So we've got our 4 cards for our 4 piles. Let's stack them up. I want to tell you, if you follow numerology, the number 1 usually stands for new beginnings, opportunity, and potential. If you follow, or number 2, for numerology, is balance, partnership, duality, Pile 3 is typically for creativity, growth, groups, social things. And number 4 is for structure, stability, manifestation, things like that, okay? So let us go. As I said, calm your mind, see where your attention is drawn, think of your question, and see where your attention is drawn. Pause the video if you need some time. I will put timestamps in the description so you can fast forward to your pile. All right, we're going to start with pile number 1. Pile number 1. Let's find out what's going on with you. What will my future spouse be like? They're all upside down today, huh? Oh, not that one. Oh boy, this is looking nice here. All right. Your future spouse. Okay. I think this person is going to be very charming. I think this person will be very charming to the point that you might feel that a little insecure at times. You may be feeling that, they're attractive, they're charming, you might be personally worried that they might cheat on you, that they might not be, giving you all that you need and deserve. They're not sharing with you and whatnot. But I do believe this is all in your head. This might be just, brought out by your insecurities, perhaps by how other people respond to your partner, your future spouse. You might just be jealous, things like that. But I do see the charm. Yeah, that's for sure here. But look at this too. I mean, this is really nice. Your future spouse, this is going to be somebody for whom you feel that you are just really jiving. You've got that harmony. You're really in this groove together. The Two of Cups. Remember what I said about twos. Twos are for balance, partnership, communication. So this is a very well-rounded person who is going to want to share with you. Again, you might be a little nervous about that because they are so charming and attractive or whatever characteristics, but this person in reality is very much committed to you, very much on the same page as you. You have the same ideas about the future, where you're going. You're going to be able to establish that happy home, financial security. So this is somebody who obviously has a good head on their shoulders, is somebody who is working hard. This is cups. So that also implies that all the emotions are in line. They are all in order. So I don't think this is going to be somebody who will be someone who overreacts or who you're arguing with quite a bit. I do think they will have that sensitivity to be able to discuss things. They have the potential. When I say sensitivity, I don't mean they're going to be a crying mess, all upset about things. What I meant is they're in tune to the emotions and things that you might be feeling or how something might be perceived. So I'm really thinking that this fear that you might have about them potentially leaving or cheating or whatever is unfounded. That is something you need to just get over. So this is going to go away. Look at what we're going to. This looks really good, pile one. Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Next. Pile number 2. Let's see what you've got. What is your future spouse going to be like? Okay. Well, I can see a few things right off the bat. Okay. Your future spouse is likely going to be somebody who's a bit of an introvert, somebody who enjoys some of the more solitary things, the more creative things. This might be somebody who is very intuitive. So somebody who you're able to have good, deep conversations with. That is what my page here is telling me. Here we have our Four of Wands. This is also somebody who is going to be right from the beginning, somebody who is building a foundation with you. I think your relationship will very quickly show you that this is somebody who you want to be with. This is somebody you want to build a future with. Obviously, we're asking about your future spouse, so that way marriage is clearly coming. But I think you're going to know this. You're going to feel this from both of you. I think it's going to be something that foundation for that future is going to be felt right away. I think you're going to have financial success. I think your future spouse is a good moneymaker, somebody who's dedicated to their job, might have the tendency to overwork a bit. Remember, this is our introvert. So this is somebody who's got their head down, that's working hard, who still enjoys some of the finer things in life, some of the creative pursuits. So I don't necessarily think workaholic where you're not going to be able to enjoy each other's company, but I do see a very hard worker. That is confirmed here with our Knight of Pentacles. Knights are always about important messages, important change. So this is important action. So working and making the money that you need is important. Hard work, you can expect them to be a very productive person. But You also should think about this in terms of how they like to balance things and juggle things. Remember, I said not necessarily a workaholic, but they might need to be reminded sometimes to take a break. Somebody who's working, and again, not working with the foot on the gas, running ahead, burning themselves out, but somebody who is a stable worker who is continually moving forward. They also have this wonderful other quality, though, so this is their creativity. Seems like a pretty good balance, but I do think you might have to remind them perhaps not to work as hard as they are, or to take a break and enjoy some of those other things that they like. And hopefully you are on the same page, because, sharing interests is important as well. But yeah, I think you're going to know right away. I do. Nice. I think that's great. All righty. Now let us find out what we've got next. Pile number 3. Let's see what you have. I'm missing a card. How did that happen? Interesting. I must have not set one down. So we're going to do a quick shuffle and put it on the bottom there. This was your pile is still your pile. I just apparently future spouse. I must not have laid one down when I was going down the line there. There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. Ooh, good cards. Okay. So what is your future spouse going to be like? I think that your future spouse is going to be somebody who is very organized, somebody who is really a person who really is able to tell it like it is, who doesn't hold back, who's very firm in their beliefs, and who's very structured. I do see, there might be a tendency for this person to not necessarily know when their words aren't coming out in a way that makes somebody feel good. So I don't think it's somebody necessarily who's going to be mean and saying things that are hurtful, but I do think that there might be the tendency to not realize that something is hurtful. So you might want to help them with that and say, if you could say it this way, it might be more helpful or whatever. But I definitely see someone who's very organized, somebody who's very meticulous, somebody who is a bit of a micromanager too, might want to take over on things and do things like that. But what this is telling me right next to it, this is judgment. This is kind of about feeling like things are new, things are renewed. So I'm thinking that, yes, while, this person might be a bit of a micromanager, I think it's going to feel actually kind of good to you. This person knows what they're doing. So their advice is good. It is solid. It is important. Just got to watch on how that is relayed, so it doesn't come off as mean, But I do think it's going to kind of free you up. I do think that your future spouse might be looking at things that aren't right sometimes, looking for things that are not working. I think he's very hard on himself him or herself, when they are not successful, when they're not seeing results right away. I think they are very hard on themselves, for sure. And then here, I think your future spouse is going to be wanting a family. This is what is on their mind and what their expectation will be at some point. They've seen themselves as a parent, and they want to grow a family. This also shows that the long-term success is on their mind. They want to make sure and have a stable home, queen, stable, and they want to make sure things are done right. So this is somebody who is, again, going to be very attentive to the details, making sure things are right. Frees you up from having to worry about some of this stuff, so you're going to feel good. But yeah, the children are coming, or at least in what they want. They do want those children. They want that stability, and I think your spouse is going to be a little bit hard on themselves. Going to need to remind them of what they're doing well, or help redirect them, when they're feeling to be kind of sucked in a little bit of a tornado hole of feeling like, oh, it's spiraling down and things like that. So I do think the emotions are there too. So even though they have that facade of knowing it all and feeling like they can do everything, they do need your help. They do need a partner. So yeah, so looking very good. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Pile number 4. See what you have here. Okay. So, pile number 4, what is your future spouse going to be like? Well, your future spouse is going to be financially secure, that is for sure, and a very good provider. We have our 10 of Pentacles. That's what's telling me that. This is somebody likely who wants to enjoy a family and potentially enjoy the finer things in life. Tens, the number 10 is always about achievement. So completion too. It's getting there. It's getting to that point. This is going to be a goal of theirs. This is what they want. So somebody who's secure, somebody who's a good provider, and somebody who wants a family. So that is very good. Next, here we have our 7 of Pentacles, which ties in really nicely. This is about being a hard worker and always looking for the new opportunity to make some money, to make some progress. This is typically about literal money, so about wealth. But this can also be in other areas of your life, looking at making home improvements, looking at making sure that everybody is healthy. So paying attention to that, being very positive, and really having their finger on every aspect of life that makes a happy home. You've got to have the financial security. You have to be healthy. You have to have love. You have to have support. So this is somebody who I think is going to be very well-rounded. I also say that because we have our Justice card here. Justice is all about fairness, balance, have things balanced, that happy home, the money, the health, those things that I was just explaining. This is showing me that. It's confirming all of this right here. What have we got here? We've got our 2 of Swords. This tells me that your future spouse may be a little bit indecisive, may be a little bit having a hard time making decisions sometimes. This is Swords. Swords is the suit of thoughts and ideas. It's also about communication and truth. And if you'll notice, this woman here is blindfolded. So not wanting to see, not wanting to decide, just kind of being, again, indecisive, not being able to make a choice, hearing truth. They're looking for, okay, well, let me dig in and find more truth. Some of that's good. You want to be on top of things that are correct and true, and you want honesty. However, this looks like somebody who would potentially be always looking for more validating information. So, okay, I know this XYZ, but I need to look it up and research some more so that I can have more information about XYZ. So somebody who is continually wanting to improve their knowledge, gain knowledge is probably a better way to say it. But I think it's also somebody who's a bit indecisive. So maybe you can help your spouse with that. But everything else is looking really good, really balanced, really positive. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's always good to consider two sides to the story, look up all the facts, all things like that. But again, I think that your spouse might get stuck on that a little bit. But yeah, looking good, pile 4. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this pick a card. I hope it was helpful for you. And I do want to remind you, please hit subscribe. Hit subscribe and make sure that you tap that bell so that you'll get notifications so that my next pick a card or when I pop up and do live streams, you'll get your notifications so that you can come on. I do surprise live streams every now and then. And then I have my regular show, Tarot at 12 p.m. Central daily. So lots of ways to connect and get readings. And thank you again for coming.